And it is time again for a little bit of the Unity game developing. We are going to code a video game. And it's going to be fantastic, I promise. Also, we're just doing the UI for the moment, because it's a huge project. What the video game is going to entail is going to be an open world, right? And it's going to be stealth action, and also RPG elements, tons of them, and it is going to be completely animation based. Well, when we say completely animation based, I mean we do have things like the vitality stat, which determines your base stamina, so there is going to be some hit point juggling, but not too much, I don't think. Yeah, the 3D world is a bit barren, but that's fine. First things first, the player is going to try and... Oh, and last time we promised we would make it so that if you pick out the human and pick out a settler as a heritage, and then pick out a different race, then it would remember when you go back to the human and that you picked out the settler. Now, we did promise we would make this off stream, and we didn't do it, and it's very embarrassing. That is shameful. I'm so ashamed. But no problem. We can do it right now. Race is picked out. Heritage is picked out. Right. So if you pick this BA settler and stuff, I didn't think we would need the frickin' brackets, but we do, unfortunately. Whoops. Where we go? We need the brackets, because it's going to be another line of code every time here when you pick out a heritage, and that line of code is going to say picked choice in drop down. Where are we? We are in the drop down proper, but not in the correct one. Okay, component. How do we know? Picked choice. Oh, so it does take on a picked choice, I think, on the awake. The first one that is actually in the list of game objects in the drop down. Good. Which means all we need to do is find the right drop down, or we just make this the picked choice. But do we not do this here already? Yes, but it's not the default choice. What if the default choice was the picked choice? Will that interfere? Will that conflict? Let's see. If you look at any drop down here, no. If we look at any select entry here, we have a valid options and a hide on pick and a defaults. And I think the defaults is actually what we need to change. We might even get rid of it. Surely not. Pick choice defaults. So the idea was just to replace this. But then we have to look at so many things. This is not ideal. Let's see when the defaults are getting used here. When you pick something out, right? No. Can I select any entry? Yes. For each in defaults, go to the transform and clear the active. So much, so far so good. So far so good. This could be different. And then we set first sibling and make it a picked choice. Is this really correct? Because if we pick a choice, we already make it the first sibling. And it's a picked choice. If transfer active items count is 1, this is the valid options it finds out about. Trying to also optimize the code at the same time, which could be possible in theory. Alright, you pick the heritage. And it is a picked choice. What if the default was just the drop-down container? Like, for example, we have the drop-down container race here. And we have the drop-down container gender there, under the big label gender. And we have the drop-down container life stages there. Just trying to organize ourselves here now. And we have the drop-down container class as well. Good. Figure size as well. This can be picked out later, of course. Figure size. We're not there just yet. Whoops. Drop-down container size. This is really procrastinating what we have to do. The type. So this is a little bit dumb work just to waste some time. Not a good idea. So let's get back into it. We pick it out and it becomes a picked choice, but the default is still in. So if we switch it out, the race, for example, well, the race is the only thing that has default entries. So there we go. We only needed it there. All the more reason not to even have this. Set active true. In defaults. This is choices. Gets called when picked from the drop down. I'm not sure if we ever need this in a different case. Scenario, for example, if you pick out the type and something else gets messed up. I think this might be only for the race in the end. But we cannot know. So there is default. For each game we'll go in default. Defaults. I think actually we want the defaults to be drop downs. To 3 drop downs. Drop downs. That are affected by choice of race. Valid options hide on pick. Drop downs, and this is entries. Entries. And this is also, oops. And this is also entries. And if we move this around a little bit, then we can read the comments in order. Dropdowns that are affected by choice of race, entries that are affected by choice of race. Good. Let's just sort this out in our little brain, so we have an easier time. Which means for each gallery in default, we game objects that are active true. No. Pick choice is different though. Pick choice is only one thing, while the default is many things. I'm not even sure this works the way we think it would work. Now, this might all be wrong. So we have to replace it. I don't want to run through all the things and find out which one's which. Even though I wouldn't be doing it, I would just write the code, and then it would all work automatically in the end. But I don't want to have this complicated code, and I want to have a simple piece of code here. There's always the fear that we have to read the code again and over. It's a very realistic fear. Good. Pick choice and drop down. And we really want this little bit of functionality. So we're human and we want to be a demogrant. No, maybe I play a robot who's gonna be... Oh. What was this? There's a glitch. Interesting. Maybe I want to be a robot who is coming from the invaders. Nah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna be the human demogrant again. Whoops. BA. No, that's not what I picked out before. So yeah, that's the... It's slick. That's what it is. It's slick, and we want it to be slick. The user interface for the person playing the game, for the user, for the player. So if we click on anything else, click out anything else, it will become the picked choice, but it will not become the default choice. If we switch the race again, we pick out robot and then... Oh. Clone is in the Warrens. Robot is a settler. Human is BA. Wonder if we can recreate this. This glitch from before. Maybe it goes away when we fix the other problem, but it's more like visual thinking. Anyway, so the heritage is going to be pick choice in drop down. Well, of course we do know how to do it and how it will work, but yeah, that's a little bit too much code. I'll make it the default. So we add it into the default. Or we have to iterate through the defaults. This is exactly what we didn't want to do. Which drop down are we looking at currently? The wrong one. We have to look at the race drop down if we want to see the defaults. And how do we find that one? We have to put it in. We have to put it in the user interface control as a public variable. See how complicated this is? This is the third thing we have to do to make this work. I would love to do it in one thing. Oh, that just sucks. Base attribute, bonus points. Oh, this is so terrible. Text info text on one canvas pivot. Public transform. Races. Drop down. This is terrible. I do not like this at all. Let's see if it throws an error because we were in the midst of writing some code there. But I think we just commented. I think it should be fine. Why is it taking so long? If this was Godot, it would be done already. Sucks so bad. All the garbage put into the poor engine. The stack. Stack. Oh yeah, that is that. At least it works. At least we found out how it worked in the end. Good. Races drop down. Also, noise pollution outside on a Sunday, of course. Would it not make sense to go directly to the defaults? No, because the defaults are in the select entry, are in the entrance there. We have human, and we have there the defaults. But what the drop-down knows is about the picked choice. And that is what we're going to look for. So this is in a dip, and we drop down proper, we pick a heritage, and then we grab the, we iterate through the defaults. For each defaults, is this a transform? Possibly. Click valid options, drop down button both. Could be. Let's check it out in code. No, it's game objects. Alright. It's game objects. For each game object, completely. Oh, this is so complicated. What are we iterating? For each game, for defaults, def entry in defaults, but it's not going to be any defaults. It's going to be first of all, we're going to get a component, select any entry. Oops. Select any entry. Oh, I just turned the music back on, and there is the noise pollution again. Select any entry, defaults. Get component. Oops. Select any entry. But where do you take this? Where do you take this from? Is your default entry in get component, select any entry from the picked out arrays. Picked choice? But which picked choice? From where? Well, from the UI control races drop down. Good. Now, currently picked race is what we could have done, but what we didn't want to do apparently. Game object default entry in this is how we're gonna do it. Is this bad? Yes. Will it work? Also yes. Good. The default entry is going to be the game object, the race that has been picked out. And in that race, for each, and that red race has defaults, and those are we iterating through. Those entries are we iterating through. Now, if the default entry now we make this the default entry. And we have to get rid of the other, if it's a different one, we have to get rid of it. That is an issue. So if it's settler or immigrant, and how do we find out about it? We have to check its name. See, that is exactly what we didn't like about it. Let's remove the entry. Add remove, right? If you're using lists. Not 100% sure. Ah, the noise pollution is grinding our brains out. Why? I don't want to live here. Oh, so painful. I cannot think. Alright, the airplane passed. We have 5 minutes of time we can use to work. So if the def entry parent equals let's go for the name equals oh, this is gonna be rough. Drop down container heritage. Oh, this is going to be rough because we're going to have different. We're going to have this for every life stage, but not every life stage is going to make us pick out a race. So maybe it's okay. If the parent name you drop a container heritage, right? We're going to defaults. What? We're going to remove this from defaults. Since we're using it twice, we will have to get a. Oh no! Oh no! Another airplane. Why? Why? But we don't want to do it. It's just another line of the same code. It's not too redundant. Copy if defaults remove def entry. So we're going to need two things here. Removing the default entry plus Traces to picture. Copy. Add. Element. And this takes only the name. Surely not. Picture choice? Obviously. Just get the O in. Add the picture choice. Yeah, this is exactly the cluster chuck we were not trying to do. So this is BA, and BA is already it, so we don't know if it's going to work. So what we need to do is put this loop in there. But this is really terrible. First we're going to see if it compiles. Also the pick choice is something, it does not compile at all. Transform doesn't contain a pick choice. What? Transform doesn't contain a definition for pick choice. No, it does not. Erase this drop down. Get component. Drop down proper. Pick choice. Oh, this is. Since we're using so much of this, it would really make sense to get some variables going. But we just want to see if it compiles or not, right? What now? Game object has no parent. 113. Parent name. Parent transform name. What else? A game object does not come again. 113. Huh? What? Oh, parent game object. Of course. These are all technicalities, and we cannot remember what game object doesn't contain. What? Game object doesn't. Oh, we're stupid. We're stupid. Default entry needs a game object. Wait, no, needs a transform. Transform. Good. This is different. Transform has no pick choice. 114. Did we pick it? Oh, we put it in the wrong space. Races drop down. Get component drop down proper. Races drop down and get component proper. Oops. Drop down. Oh man. Good. Races drop down. Get component drop down proper. Pick choice. Get component. Select any entry. False. Blah blah blah. Drop down container. Will you compile? That's all we want to know before we clean up the code. Alright. And of course we're not going to clean up the code. We're going to instead implement it and see if it has any functionality. Because that would be really good. For each copy. So settler is going to have the same. Oi, 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 oi. Settler is going to have the same issue. Oops. And the element is going to have the same issue. Now, everything here is just fine. So this is extremely redundant, but again, we are just trying to see if there is any given functionality, or if we messed up this code. We don't want it to be pretty. We just want it to work. Just see if the logic is there or not. See if it compiles. It does compile. And then we press play, and then we pick out a settler. And then we pick out a clone, and then we pick out the human, and they should be settler and they're not. I just want to shoot myself. First things first. Play focused is good enough. What is happening? In the drop down, we have the human, and the human has these things, and it has defaults like male and bright arrivals. Now, if I say settler instead, it should replace this element, but it does not for some reason. Maybe no. Transform parent name. If for each default, if you look at the heritage, and we should be looking at the heritage, should we? Oh, this should look at the race probably, but I don't get it. Yeah, the defaults is in the race, not the heritage. So that's one mistake in logic. For each races dropped and get out of the pictures, pop. If default transform parent name. Actually, no, we're looking through the entries in the drop down proper pick choice. No, that's not where we want to look into. We just want to look into the races drop down. Default entry. For each default entry in the drop down, proper defaults. We don't need to go any further. We don't need to go into the picture. Wait! Why not? We want to look at the races drop down, and then we want to know what the human is doing. The pick choice is human after all, per default. Good, so we should look at the default of the default, which is, and then we look at the parent name, which is the heritage. Drop down button arrivals has a parent. Oh, that's life stages, not heritage. There we go. There we go. Life stages, which actually should be heritage. Drop down container. Heritage. And the life stages. Life stage 1. Life stage 2, life stage 3 and such. I think it's gonna be a little bit better. Heritage. All right. Good. 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 So let's see. Is this already sufficient? Let's find out. We're going to be a settler, and then we're going to be a robot, and then we're going to change our mind back to human, and it still doesn't work. Let's pretend this is cool. And look what else is going on. We remove the default entry. In the races drop-down, get pick choice, get components, select any entry. Select any entry defaults, really? So this is looking for the human. Maybe we should put it in a... noise. We should put it in a variable. Any... So if we were to put in... Select any entry, copy. Select any entry. Picked race script. Picked race script equals. For each default in races get on pick choice. Maybe we don't have to. We just have to find out which one is which. Oh, this is so dumb. This is exactly what we didn't want to do. And we're gonna sit here for 3 hours doing this crap for a little bit of slick functionality. Now you know why some games are better than others. And the AAA games, they don't take this time. This is just too much for me, says the fat cat. So sorry we're not streaming the glitch man. Ladies and gentlemen, Joud is wearing the most cozy pajamas ever. It's his software. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm having a hoodie on, fat cat. How dare you frickin' disparage my looks without even seeing me. So rude. No, I'm just kidding. It's fantastic to see the fat cat. And this is my hoodie. Good. No pajamas. Great to see you too. Great to see you, fat cat. What is happening? So we wanted to do it a different way. First of all, we want to find out which race is picked out. And this is very easy because there's a picked choice in the drop down proper of the races. And we do have the drop down proper in the UIC. Drop down was a pick choice. There we go. I don't understand. We have this. Why is it not working? Races drop down, get component drop down proper picked choice. This should be. Have you been? Been good. Been playing a lot of Borderlands 4. And having nice PlayStation 5 actions. But we really dislike the camera here. Makes us feel very uncomfortable. This should be about the stream and not about our sweater. So let's turn it off again. Good. Just staying up late and enjoying it. Oh dear. Fat cat, it's sleepy time. What are you doing, man? Just this crazy pants. You should have your pajamas on. Is this what you're talking about? Yeah. Don't get in the view of all these letters and numbers. Yeah. I'm not sure. This is People want to see this, Fat Cat. They need to know. Select any picture, raise it up, pick choice or right. So we have this. And then we need to find out the defaults. Pick traces script. That's even not it, is it? That's the picked out race. Do we want to do this? Yes. Picked race. Picked race script. No, picked race is going to be a game object. I'm almost certain. Picked race is a game object and is going to be the pick choice in the races drop down. Straightforward. And then for each default entry in this picked race get component select any entry. Defaults. Is this it? Let's say we picked a robot here, and then there's going to be a select any entry, and then there's going to be defaults. So we're still on track. Still on track here. Good. And if this, and we're going to iterate through it, and if the parent name is a drop-down container for the heritage, as you can see here, drop-down container. Oh, there we go. There we go. We mislabeled. See, we found it, and the other code before would have probably worked. That's fine. Heritage. Good. How did you learn this? There's nothing to learn, Fat Cat. This is just work. There is coding is not. It's just a language. There is nothing to learn. You know, for example, in French you say merci, and merci means thanks. That's it. That's all you have to learn. That's all you have to learn. And then whatever you want, you write it down in that language. As a language, it's really, there is not. This is nothing. There is no skill here. The skill is maybe the creativity, how to write the code. And this, for example, here is horrible, but we just want we just want functionality. If you look at good code, this is good code here. This is all right. This is absolutely fair. But down here we have repetition, and that is what you don't want. But sometimes, for not found. Sometimes you want readability over optimization, and that's the balance act you have to perform. You want to code this stuff, but yeah, this is going to work. Picked choice defaults drop-down container heritage. So we're going through this, and then we're gonna replace it. So this should actually work, and we shouldn't even needed this. Pick game object, race drop-down game. This is the pick choice. Well, I'll be trying to do this again. This is the races, and it does have a default. The picked race, get component, select any entry. I think we can just... Yeah. We can lose a lot of this. A lot of this is redundant code. Right. And this should still actually work down there. But let's see. Does it throw an error? It should, because not really... What? Not really paying attention. 112. Picked race game object. That is the other way around. It's going to be a game object, and we're going to call it picked race.
I reign supreme.
Again, I must say it, says a fat cat. I reign supreme again. You do reign supreme. Game object does not contain for pick choice 117. Pick choice. What? Of course it doesn't. Why would you think it would? Copy. So any pick choice? Wait. This is going to be the drop down properly. Probably. Could you tell AI to create this for you and just copy and paste? No, Fatcat. This is the thing that people think I just can't tell AI to code me something. No, AI is not going to code you not anything. AI is going to rip off other programs and try to mush it together and horribly fail. That's what AI is going to do, and that's what it's doing all the time. And you cannot tell AI, I want the player to be able to pick out a heritage like settler, and then it's gonna break. You can't. This is going to happen with AI as well. It's gonna break a lot. Collection was one of them, may not execute. You have to start over. But yeah. I want to start over with all this. Garbage. Actually, let's not overreact. Because this was actually working. Copy, bonus points for each. I asked AI to make that for me. Constant utterance, new speech, shout, utterance. It will not work, Fatcat. It will not work. There is no way this will work for the AI. Oh, man. So yeah, we had the modified collection again. This is a problem with the list. This is a big time issue. With the list. So if we did not remove the entry, if we just add it in, just to see a result for now, if the code actually works, we're going to see that here in the human defaults, like it says here, bright arrivals, if we press play, and say instead settlers again. But as you can see, it did add it into the defaults there. Collections order enumeration. Yeah, you cannot you cannot do the for each. That's the thing. Hey, how's your book coming along? Book is coming. Last week we were too lazy to write something new, but the week before we did actually write something new and finished up the story where the soldier makes it out of the canyon and reaches the oasis. So we did before, right, how he makes it out of the canyon, but he reached the oasis and he's setting up shop. He's making camp, and this is where we ended. And we are going to keep writing because it's really helpful with the world building here for this game. So we're not allowed to enumerate. I just want to make my point with the AI, but the code is not finished. That is the problem. So, can we finish this code real quick? We're not allowed to iterate through when the collection is changing. That's a problem. For each default entry, we're gonna dip. Yeah, we cannot. This is so dumb. Maybe if we kick ourselves out, if we break the loop, maybe it will not complain. If default entry heritage, then we remove it. So as soon as we find it, we remove it. Good, and then we add in the other thing. We remove, we add. Maybe we can even do both. How do you break a loop? Let's find out about it real quick. Unity for each loop break. Stopping a loop. Break cause exit from the loop only. Yes. So we're going to use break. Do we have a... Do we just say break? Possibly, maybe. We hate to do this every time now. Because we're just too stupid here, but it's alright, it's not much typing. At camp, does he happen to have any beans? No, he's eating roots. If you had read my book, you would know what's happening. And he wants to eat an egg, but he has a little mishap. He's eating too fast because of the starvation. He gets cramps, and then he falls down on the ground and feels like crap, and he hugs his blanket and falls asleep, and he doesn't get to eat his egg or the meat he stole. But you just wrote it, so I couldn't read it. No, it's been a week, Fat Cat. It's been a week. Good, hold on. We're importing assets apparently for no reason. What the heck is all this exclamation marks? Oh, it did it during playtime. So if you break the loop, will it work? It does actually compute. So now we're a settler, and the human says we're a settler, and the clone says we're warns, and then we go back to human, and we're a settler. It works. And you cannot tell AI. This is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to explain. This is a fantastic example. Look, I'm telling the AI to make me a character creation screen for an RPG. And the AI says, okay, I think this is a fantastic idea. Can I also touch you? So to make you feel any better while you're doing your hard work? Or whatever, what kind of AI you're using, it doesn't matter. This could be the AI. But then the AI is going to give you a user interface. And it might look something like this. We're going to go to the play maximize, and we're going to hit play. And then you're in your game, right? It's never going to look something like this. It's going to look very generic, and it's going to look, I don't know, different. But yeah, you're going to have a user interface, and then you're going to tell the AI, yeah, I want the player character to be able to pick out his gender, his race, and his heritage. Alright, we're going to do it. And every time you tell the AI this, the AI is going to take forever to make it. Alright? And if the AI makes it, and you say, oh no, the scaling is completely wrong. Can you scale me this and this? And you have to tell the AI to do this. I'm showing you this. Drop down container stats. Where do we have it? Base attributes. Base attributes. Right? We're going to the scene, to the base attributes. And you're telling the AI to do this. Look how fast it is. I'm just doing it. And the AI cannot do it this fast. It just, my brain says, this thing doesn't, last session we had it here. My brain says, I don't want it here. I want it over there. Bam, it's done. Dude. This is where I should walk away and leave you ranting alone. Okay, so the AI cannot do this, right? Alright. But maybe it can do other things. Good. AI, please. I want the player character to pick out their race and their heritage. Alright. And then robot. Yeah, but the robot is also going to have different heritages here. And the demon is not going to be able to... I don't want the player character to be able to pick out, to open the drop-down menu when this is happening. And then you have to tell the AI with words every little detail. And it's just not going to work. And then when you have an intricacy, like the human, you should tell AI this, like the human is going to be a demogrant right? And then the player changes their mind. No, maybe I want to be a clone. I don't want to be a human. Maybe I want to be an alien. Thing is, aliens are not going to be immigrants. Aliens always are going to be invaders. So then the player character says, hold on. I do want to be a immigrant because the tooltip says immigrants are freaking cool. I love them. So yeah, I cannot play an alien who's also an immigrant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to human. And look, it remembered that the player picked out immigrant. That's a very, very deep intricacy that you can never explain to the AI. Never. It's just not going to work. I'm sorry. The AI is never going to be able to drive a car, right? If the car is restrained and confined to a rail system, which makes it a train, by the way, then yes, you can have the AI run a train. But the AI is never going to be able to drive a car. The simplest thing in the world is already way too much for an AI. There is no AI. This is a misnomer. Fat Cat, is this the Democrat Party? No, this is the Republicans. Fat Cat, what are you talking about? The Democrats are the Republicans in reality. No. What we're trying to say is artificial intelligence does not exist, Fat Cat. Right? Like, for example, you have a lot of misnomers. American football. There is no foot and there is no ball involved in the sport. Right? It's a marketing trick. And if you don't see that, you're blind. Now, the powers that be want people to be blind in order to manipulate them and in order to rule in peace and do whatever they want. So you have to learn about critical thinking and how to do it. Alright, so artificial intelligence is in movies and in video games. That's where the term is correct. What you're doing, if you say, I'm going to have the AI code me something, you're using a program, an application that makes templates out of existing stuff. Makes templates out of existing stuff. This is not intelligent. And it's not artificial at all. Somebody wrote the code, and the code is getting executed. There is nothing AI there. Pattern recognition. I'm going to have the AI find out who is driving without insurance. Now the flock camera, which is overpriced, is going to find out what's on that license plate and is going to run that towards a database and it's going to return that result. There is nothing intelligent about this. This is a task that a computer program is performing. There is no artificial intelligence. People are so dumb. Well, they do use a part of their body to kick an object, says the Fat Cat. Right. I think that part of the body is a foot, and I think the object is a ball. The object is not ball-shaped, Fat Cat. First of all. And just because in real football, they use their hand to throw the ball in when it's out of bounds, and they use their hand when they put the ball down for a free kick, and they use their hand when they're goalkeeper, doesn't make the game about the hand. It makes it about the foot. It's actually football. Because there's a ball, and they're using the foot mainly. Just like in American football, they're using mainly their hand to carry an egg-shaped object. Now, do I think it should be called hand egg? No. I don't think it should be called like this. But what's wrong with armored rugby? Because that's what it is. It is rugby. But you're wearing armor. So there is different rules for that. But straight up, it's rugby. If you're honest. Ham and eggs. Let's call the sport ham and eggs. So yeah, that's what it is. It's armored rugby. And hey, if you like armored rugby, more power to you. But dude, it's not football. That's a marketing gag. And if you call it that, you're stupid. And you don't want to, but this is what it's called, and I'm respecting the sport. So no, the people who named the sport do not respect the sport. Why should you? Why should you respect the naming convention and respect the people who named the sport? You can respect the sport and still call it what it is, armored rugby. There's no rugs in rugby. Jesus. Now you make me look up the etymology of rugby. You're crazy pants, fat cat. You're just crazy pants. Etymology. Huh? Whoops. History of rugby union. Rugby. Etymology, origin, meaning. Etymon. Rugby. From Rugby, name of the public school where the game was played, which is named for its location in the city of Rugby, in Warwickshire, Central England. There you go. There you go. It has nothing to do with rugs. It's named after a city because they didn't want to name their sport ham and eggs or hand eggs, which is very understandable. Also, rugby sounds rugged. It's a great name, rugby. And then when you put an armored rugby, man, that sounds badass. Now I don't want to say ass, but in this case, make an exception. It sounds really great. Armored rugby, man. Armored rugby. War. We don't have rugby like the weakling Englands who invented the game. No. We have armored rugby. It's way better. We progress. We take the sport and make it amazing. We're Americans. This is what people should have done. This is how people should have thought. And they kind of thought like this. They got manipulated into thinking like this by the marketing. Look at how super duper sport, how a new sport is here. This is what we're playing in America. What a fantastic sport. We call it American football. Yay. No, it's really bad. It's a bad decision because football was very popular when American football came up. And yeah, American football, this is the correct football. Now, it's based on rugby, which is England. This is a callback to your to what you were separating from, and you said you're better than them, and now you're just copying them off in every way, shape, or form you can think of, and then you have a garbage name for it. This is horrible. This is really bad, fat cat. This is terrible. So, armored rugby is armored rugby. It's not American football. Just because and AI is not AI. You can call it like that all you want, but there is no artificial intelligence behind writing you a code that is not going to work in the end. Here is something that works. Look, that's what we wrote here in 1 hour 3 minutes. We wrote the code that the player can pick out the settler and then change their mind, go to robot and pick out a demogrant and then go back to human, and the program is going to remember, hey, the player wanted to play a human settler in the beginning, so we're going to respect this choice. So this is what you can do as a human, and the AI cannot. It just can't. If this program is finished, the AI can copy the code, and if somebody by chance has the same idea and wants this functionality as well, then the AI is going to present it to them, and they probably just it's probably just going to integrate the existing code into it's all a scam, fat cat. It could be called padded rugby. And man, fat cat, now you're thinking. There are options. It could be anything but the awful ripoff it is today. I'm not even talking about that as a rugby ripoff. Like I said, it's the same as taking surfing and skateboarding. I love skateboarding. I hate surfing. But I have to acknowledge, skateboarding is the progression from surfing. Surfing with... Dude, old school hip hop. Have you listened to old school hip hop? It's freaking garbage, man. Old school hip hop is worst. And then, oh, surprise, Biggie and Pac were really successful. Now, because they took the concept and they advanced it. There is we hit the microphone there. There is nothing wrong with advancing a concept. But misnaming things to make more money? That's pathetic. This is how Jawed is feeling right now. I'm angry. I'm so angry. That's right, Fat Cat. I just hate lying. And especially lying for money. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. And I'm not the only one. There are a lot of vigilantes that acted on that feeling. And people who lied for money got killed, Fat Cat. This is how serious this issue is. And that is why you're doing this emoji. Because I am exactly that angry. Glory shake is the emoji called. Alright, sure. Anyways, there is no AI, Fat Cat, and there is no American football. Just because you call these things that, don't make them that. It's neither American nor it's football. And there is no foot and there is no ball. It's British rugby advanced. And just to reiterate, advancing something is not the worst. You can do it, but you have to acknowledge you're doing it. And if you don't acknowledge it, you're a hypocrite. And you need to get punished for your sins, because it's not nice what are you doing. Right. Now, of course, if you're a regular person and you're calling things AI and you're calling Armored Rugby American football, you're just following some leader and you're just a sheep and you cannot be blamed. And of course it's your fault. Of course you're at fault, and you must take responsibility for you being wrong. But it's very little that you're wrong, because there's so many people being wrong. It's the mob that is wrong. It's the masses, and it's really hard to go against this. So it's understandable, and I forgive you. You don't have to be punished, and not severely. You punish yourself already by doing something stupid. Because every time you do something stupid, your soul dies a little. It's a spiritual thing, I guess. You know you're wrong, and you still do it, and you say, it's fine. But the human brain is so much more complicated than any AI will ever be, and we're using this very loosely, this term AI. Because, like you said, it's just the wrong term. I'm going to get some leftover chicken nuggets and get some sleep before church. But then again, there aren't nuggets, and who knows if there's any chicken. They named them this for money. They're lying. There's no chicken nugget. It's a ploy to get money. No, Fat Cat, chicken nugget is fine. American football and AI is not fine. It's really wrong. If you compare this to chicken nuggets, I think this is a good comparison. Because it's like day and night. The chicken nugget is very descriptive, while the American football is very non-descriptive. And AI is simply misleading. There's nothing intelligent. Like the smartphone. The smartphone is not very smart. Because it's connected to the internet, it's smart? What? This is indeed a ploy to get money. Because people say, wow, I have a smartphone, haha. Let's see if my phone is smarter than me. And spoiler alert, it probably is. But yeah, you have a good time. And this is the breakfast of champions. Chicken McNuggets. And by the way, we do like the Doom guy emoji. It's really good. Is this your emoji, Fat Cat? Pretty cool. How do I copy this? How can I do this? Because I want to. How do we make an emoji? How does this work, Fat Cat? We're not using emojis. And I got it for free. I tell you where I got it. From the game. From Google. Fat Cat, this is not a big deal. Doom guy. Images. There you go. I got one. Doom Guy, Doom 1. Oops. There you go. We can take this picture. It's not him. There you go. Here, we got it as well. It's very simple. Then we take a screenshot. Here. Copy. Good, and then we go to our pictures. What? 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 Let's go to Hitman. Good, and then we go, oh, we're gonna open it at paint.net. Open with paint.net. I know it's not the exact one. And we have a new one. Good, and we paste it. There you go, and then we go to, where is it? The magic wand. And we give it a little bit less tolerance. And we cut everything out. And here as well. Give it a bit more tolerance. And we save it as... Can I paste where I got it? What? Sure you can. I'm gonna say Wounded Doom Guy. Right, and we're going to put it on the in the pictures. And we're going to have a new folder. We're going to say Twitch emos Wounded Doom Guy. Pop. There we go. Now all we have to do is upload it, and there we have it, Fatcat. Was this difficult? freetwitchresources.com. Wow, amazing, Fatcat. So you don't have to do it yourself. But see, ours is unique and yours isn't. Nah, it doesn't matter. twitchresources.com. I wonder what it opens for us here. Wow. Amazing. Is there a search function? There must be. Also, we're gonna show off what we're doing here. Music, what? First name or band, overlays, miscellaneous, badges, animated, emote menu. So where's the search function, Fatcat? Where is the search function? Search for emotes. Loading image data, live search, search images. Doom. Search. Dun, dun, dun. Good. What's the Fatcat saying? So is this... This is the one? This is the one? There we go, we found it. Good stuff, Fatcat. Good stuff. We're never gonna use this. That's him. That's him. That's the guy. Good, but more importantly, we did make this happen. Now we have to get rid of the interface glitch that is sometimes happening here. Seems like it's happening only for the robot. Human, robot, demon, robot. Oh, we just must have missed something there. That's also where I got the Three Stooges. Oh, alright. Three Stooges. Robot is going to be Demogrant as well. If we go back to human, there's settler. We go back to robot, is going to be a Demogrant. Go to the clone from... What if the clone wants to be a settler? Human settler. Robot Demogrant. Clone settler. Alien is always going to be invaders. Demon is always going to be a settler. Demon is always going to be female. See if it works. Alien is going to be both, but the demon we said we want to be female. That doesn't work. Doesn't work because we haven't implemented it yet. There's 3 Stooges, Curly, Larry, and Mo. Don't know much about the 3 Stooges. Only know them as a meme. Good. Settler, different. Right, and now we have to optimize this code because it really sucks. Don't like it at all. Do like that it works, of course. But otherwise, this is when a heritage is picked out. This is going to be a very large code if we do this for everything. On the other hand, maybe not. It's only going to be defaults much for when you pick out your race, I suppose. Good. Are we going to continue or are we going to leave it be for the moment? Are we going to take a break? I think we need to optimize this code. Farewell, says a fat cat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have a great day. I'm gonna see you next time. I think we're gonna optimize a little bit more. Wish we could advance here in the distribute a number of points. We'll see. Good. Good, we're going to remove this and we're going to add in the picked choice instead. It's funny that this is the same all the time. For each picture remove default entry. This is when we make a heritage. This is if the element is BA. Remove the default entry and add the picked out. As a default entry. Well, obviously we can put this just up in front. Is this as obvious and will this just work? Let's find out. So heritage is picked out. And then we're gonna do this. Let's see. And that's what we meant when we earlier said we're so dumb. Having to write everything in 3 times. Heritage is picked out. Top-down container heritage. Could also and put this up front, but let's see first if it compiles even. Put this up front and do it for the other things as well, and I think we would be happy with that code then. So if the human wants to be a demogrant, and let's go back to the robot, see if we can recreate the glitch. Yes. Settler demogrant BA. Is there something missing here? Yeah, the invaders are missing. So they do not get enabled, I think. The game object doesn't get enabled. Probably. Have to look at that. But first we go back to the human and it says immigrants is fine. Good. Maybe now that the memory is fresh. Invaders are not enabled. If we enable them here, just wondering what's gonna happen. Human settler, robot. They're immediately working. But weirdly enough, the clone does work. Everything is enabled here. This should all be by code. This could all be enabled. Let's. What happens? Just curious now. And why is the lowest one on top? Does that matter? Ah. This is the default. What is enabled immediately is the immediate default. That's fine, but what is not fine is when we switch over, it doesn't enable this. Why? Because it needs to enable it. Robot. Defaults. Female settler. We hide the warrants. Why do we only hide the warrants on the robot? The lab is never enabled, so... That's why we leave it out. Still, Immigrants and Invaders is fine. If we pick everything out in the select entries... Did we not frickin' test this properly? Select any entry. Defaults, valid options. Set active false is interesting. Set them active false in valid options. Yeah, okay, but if we open the drop down. Just open it. Open close here. If we open close, child, for each child in transform, make them interactable. Select any enable true. Select any reset position, open close. Make the buttons interactable after the animation is complete, so the animation goes. That would imply that we're already active. Here it goes. Active items. Set active true. It's weird. Let's look at it then. Oh. Here in the hierarchy. Play focused. Play. Now the robot says... Doesn't matter what they say. Want to see what the heritage says here if this goes. We click it, the invaders goes the invaders goes on, goes active. But it immediately goes inactive again if we click the settlers. Because it still thinks we're human and we're clicking, we're picking actually out something. Which we do not, we're just opening the menu, we're not picking anything. I think that's the issue. I think we do a double derp here. Good choices. Says here somewhere. open close. We open close. Clicked on pick choice, open down. If pick choice, we animate the entry. Sure. And animating the entry has too much functionality, I think. Expand, shrink. Expand we're not using. Animating the entry. Set active, no problem. There's the animation. And then we make them interactable. But where's the actual choices happening? Find choices. There. The dropdown is closed by choosing something from the list. Or aborting from select any by clicking away. Right. If the pick choice is the pick choice. It feels like for a robot this is not the picked choice. It's the actual issue. But we did. Is the pick choice first? It should be. Let's pretend it is. If we're in the pick choice, yes. Otherwise, are we just animating the entry and we're not picking anything? I don't get it. Shouldn't do it. Let's make sure that the pick choice is correct. We go to the robot. And it says settler. And it says pick choice settler. And the active items are correct. Bright arrivals, settler, immigrant, or demigrant rather, and invaders. So if we click this now, the glitch comes up. It's going to turn off the invaders for a reason. But why? And now it's gone as well. Click the robot again. Now it completely glitched out. What the heck is going on? I don't know what sets what deactivates the set active false. That is a very bad way of looking for it. Set active. Start, if visible at start, that's in the start. It's in the start. If visible at start, set game active false. Maybe that's an issue. For each transaction selected in a position if open close. If it's not selected false, it's not the pick choice. This is the things that disable it. Not visible at start. Is this start getting called more often than we think? Every time it's enabled? No, on enable is called every time. Start is called exactly once. When it starts. Anyway, maybe here we have that issue? Set active false. Oh, we're force picking something. Drop entry. What the heck is drop entry? Force pick game object right in Force pick. Are we using this? If the child is not drop into, what the heck is this even? Force pick. Is somebody calling this? No. So that's alright then. What about the select entry? Find. Start up, drop down, it does not equal 0, to false. It's also on the startup. Do we have this doubly? Hide on pick. Maybe that's the issue. It's somewhere in a hide on pick where we haven't seen it. And then we make this false again. I think here might be an issue. This is valid options. All of them go false. Should not be an issue though. This is when we pick something out. This is correct. For each game object in defaults, you set it true. This is the 3 things that make it inactive. Oh, this is rough now. We kind of would love to go on with our lives and keep coding in what we want, but this glitch. This glitch is rough. So what does the robot say again? I mean, we looked at this many times. Male, female, both, not applicable. Pride arrival, settler, immigrant invaders. This is not a thing. If this is enabled from the start, just to know. Wait a minute. Drop down item, where to move on, skip on, button type, miscellaneous. Yeah, alright, sure. Is there no active at start? Oh, no, just drop down item. Where was this active at start? Base attribute, defaults, control input texts. Button type? No. No. Just says drop down item. Invaders. So if it's on from the beginning, it should be on here as well. That's not what we want. So if we click the robot, we're just going in circles now because we don't find it. I think we have to give it a rest. Hide on pick though. Human hide on pick warrants invaders lab. Clone? Maybe it's because we don't have the lab everywhere. Valid options. Let's put the lab in. That's just a just so it's everywhere. Human hiding the lab. Clone hiding the lab. Robot hiding the lab. Oops. demon also hiding the lab. It's just not valid. And it goes somewhere else in the end. But since we have it in the list now, let's just have it there. Valid options. Hide on pick lab. Maybe just organizatorial. Is that a word? Human and this, a robot and that. Oh, it breaks even more. No, it's a demon. And demon has a lab now. What? Demon? Doesn't need a lab. Ay, ay, ay. Right. Go to the robot. This is even more glitch now. There's even more glitch now. And the reason we think is it goes through the list and now it just broke. Is it the new code? Let's see if it's the new code. But we had that glitch before. I don't think it's the new code. It just picked out. For each drop-down heritage, and then remove default entry, and then we're going to do the same thing for drop-down container gender. Right, and then we're going to look at the other things real quick before we continue with this. Huh? Oh, okay. Good enough for now. Just trying to make this happen. Compiling script. Robot. It still has the glitch. So it has nothing to do with the new code. Which we were expecting. Absolutely. Good, let's test the new code again. Let's say we want to be a robot male. Oh, there's the issue again. Gonna be a human. A female. Let's go to the robot and it completely breaks. This is debugging and it's so boring. I'm not going to stream this. Thank you for watching. Thanks for chiming in. Don't forget the $5 archives where all the votes are going. And next time, we're going to have figured out where the glitch was. And it's just going to be sitting in front of the code and thinking, which is not very streamable. But it is exactly what we did the last 20 minutes. I'm going to talk to you next time. Until then, have a good day and a good night.